everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 15 of Tower of God, Season 2. As the competition heats up to see who will actually get seats that will allow them to participate in the workshop battle coming up, things seem to be getting more and more heated. People seem to be getting more and more directly involved, and consequences and actions seem to be more and more present as we watch the proceedings go down. We see a confrontation between Baam and the guy who told us last week about the fact that the prize for the workshop battle is actually a human being, as they go against Endorsi, and we see an interesting flashback where Baam recalls that before what I would assume was the final mission where Rachel betrayed Baam, we actually had a scene between Baam and Endorsi where, had the mission been successful, Baam had agreed to actually go on a date with her. And I put date in quotes because her perception of what a date should be was actually pretty funny and pretty off the mark, honestly. A date should be about getting to know each other. It's not about pampering one person. There are situations where you can attend an event or an activity where that can happen, but that's generally not what a date is, but that's beside the point. I also really liked the reference about her shoes, and from what I could tell when she was fighting, she didn't seem to be using the same shoes anymore, which was an interesting little nod to this conversation the two of them had had in the past. I also found it really interesting that as they were fighting and everything was happening, she glanced at him, and it seems to me at least like she might have potentially gotten some sort of like vibe check essentially that, hey, maybe this is him. I don't think she knows for certain, but it seemed like she might have been having some kind of a hunch, which definitely left me intrigued. We had another interesting situation where Khun and Wanyan actually end up catching up with a bunch of their teammates who are caught in this tower and who are about to be taken out, but because Khun pushed Wanyan to run the distance to catch up, and then Khun showed up through something to do with one of the lighthouses or something, they were able to successfully corner these two people and to ensure that their team actually got the advantage in the situation rather than being taken advantage of. That was the good news. The bad news is that unfortunately the little girl, I think her name is Menseng or something, and Prince are both missing, and that Khun has pointed out that the team needs to get onto the ship for the battle and that they can't go and search for or rescue Prince and Menseng, and that Prince and Menseng are going to need to actually prove their worth by showing up, otherwise they're not really worth being there and they're not worth rescuing. This might sound really cold, but I mean at the same time, this situation and this competition is going to get more and more dangerous, and the further things go along, the more people are going to be looking out for themselves, and the more that friend and foe are going to be shifting position, because as the competition narrows, the number of people you can actually perceive as your allies is going to indefinitely shrink. So Khun does have a point. I'm not happy about it, but I do get where he's coming from. We do see what's actually going on with Prince and Menseng, and it seems like they've been captured by somebody, and that somebody is essentially planning to use them as puppets and like essentially treat them like a pair of Barbie dolls and get them married, which I thought was really funny because it's really weird. When we first started the season, guys, I thought that Prince was a lot older because I thought that Prince was interested in Flamethrower Girl. I think her name is like Yiwa or something. I'm kind of bad with these names, as you know. But now we see him constantly hanging out with Menseng, and I'm not suggesting there's anything actually romantic between the two, but it really alters the light that I've seen his character through, which is definitely something strange. And it's really unusual for me to like misplace a character quite that much, but that seems to be the case here. Lastly, of course, we see a couple interesting confrontations near the end. The blonde-haired guy who used to be on Khun's team that's now working with Fug is fighting against Anak. That was rather interesting, and they seem to be pretty evenly matched. But it seems like Baam has somehow intervened, and I wonder just what happened in the dark there. Was it actually Baam that fired the gun, or did someone fire the gun at him, or what? We don't know because everything blacked out, but there was definitely something going down. At the same time, of course, we had Kasino fighting against the swordsman. I think his name is Hats. I believe we knew him in season 1. My memory might be off here, though. It was interesting to find out that apparently the two had crossed swords on the 20th floor previously, and to see that Hats had tried to improve and everything. But in the end, because of intervention, it seems that Kasino got the upper hand, so we'll have to see just what that will actually entail. But it seems like we're getting closer and closer to being done with this particular trial or situation, and that who is going to actually get a seat on the boat going to the actual competition is going to become more and more finalized. We also see that members of FUG were still waiting for Baam to come back as Viole, and it seems like they're at least in contact now, which should definitely help with certain things. But we definitely have several things between Baam not being back yet and fighting with people and stuff, other people from FUG having their own plans and everything, and the missing Prince and Menseng that are all up in the air. And we really don't know quite how that stuff is going to go down. So we'll have to see just what next week will entail, but we're definitely getting more of a clear picture on who is going to be going forward. And we're definitely seeing some very interesting positions and situations that are putting characters in different and fascinating lights, which I'm really enjoying. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking of this episode, so drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye!